Welcome back to another episode of Two Wheel Trends, the place where we dive deep into the soul of the most talked about motorcycles on the planet. Today, we're going all in on a machine that's been turning heads and stirring the pot among cruiser lovers and Harley purists alike. The 2025 Harley-Davidson Leon 883. The Spike has been in the spotlight since the first concept sketches leaked out, and now that it's finally here in the metal, it's time to see if the Leon 883 lives up to the legacy it's meant to carry and the expectations it stirred. With Harley's classic styling merged with a few bold modern cues, a finely tuned engine, and pricing that's sure to challenge the market, the Leon 883 is not just another cruiser, it's a statement. Let's roll deep into every inch of this machine and find out what it brings to the modern cruiser table. Now, when you first lay eyes on the 2025 Harley-Davidson Leon 883, there's one thing that's impossible to ignore. It's absolutely unmistakable. There's no mistaking the silhouette. It screams Harley in the most authentic way possible, yet it doesn't feel trapped in the past. The front end of the Leon 883 keeps things minimal yet iconic. A circular LED headlamp is encased in a slim blacked-out housing that throws a powerful and clean beam, giving riders solid visibility at night without breaking the nostalgic feel. It's framed with the small, sculpted nacelle that adds a subtle touch of aggression. The front fender is chopped and hugs the tire closely, revealing more of the rubber and less of the metal. The 41mm front forks come blacked out, wrapped in classic fork gaiters, giving that old-school aesthetic with modern damping performance. You'll find Harley's emblem stamped dead center on the matte black triple clamp, reminding you exactly what you're holding between your hands. Turn indicators are sleek, with a smoked-out finish and LED function, blending in neatly with the bike's understated and muscular front persona. Moving to the side profile, the Leon 883 really begins to show its heritage and modern intention merging into one. You've got the classic peanut-shaped fuel tank this time with sharp contouring that gives the sidelines a sense of motion even at standstill. It proudly carries the stylized Harley-Davidson script, subtly revised for this model, offering a retro vibe with a modern stroke. The tank holds 12.5 liters of fuel, maintaining the compact cruiser DNA, while still ensuring practical range. The frame is a new double cradle steel construction, redesigned for better rigidity and handling but retains the visual weight and presence that Harley riders expect. The seat is a solo setup with minimalistic stitching, low slung and contour just enough to keep the rider snug and comfortable on longer rides. The positioning gives you that classic feet-forward cruiser stance, but the ergonomics have clearly been tweaked for less fatigue and better reach for riders of different heights. The exhaust system runs along the right side, finished in matte black with a 2-in-1-in-2 layout, giving off that signature V-twin bark we've all come to crave. The entire midsection is clean and tight. There's minimal bodywork, just enough to guide the eyes, but not so much that it hides the raw mechanical beauty of the machine. Cast alloy wheels in matte black with machined edges give a strong, rugged look while keeping the weight down and complementing the bike's overall visual balance. The side panels are trimmed tight with laser-etched badging, a nice touch that adds an upscale feel without overdoing it. Rear suspension is dual-coil over shocks with adjustable preload, tuned to deliver a supple ride with a hint of firmness when pushed harder. Around back, the Leon 883 keeps things just as stripped down and intentional. The rear fender is bobbed short, a subtle callback to the bobbers of the post-war era. Integrated into the fender is a slim LED tail light that looks futuristic without feeling disconnected from the rest of the bike. Rear indicators match the front smoked-out LEDs that maintain symmetry. The license plate holder is side-mounted, allowing the rear tire to be fully exposed and admired. Speaking of tires, the rear rubber is meaty enough to mean buzziness at 150 section that not only aids in handling but also looks proper under the compact frame. The rear disc brake setup is straightforward and efficient, tucked in neatly without looking too mechanical. And now let's get to the heart of the Leon 883 the engine. It's still that signature air-cooled Devolution V-twin that Harley riders have trusted for decades, but in this 2025 version, it's received some notable enhancements. It still displaces 883cc, but the internals have been revised for better efficiency. smoother low-end torque delivery, and cleaner emissions. Compression ratio has been nudged up to 9.2 to 1, and Harley's done a bit of tuning to the fuel mapping to give it a more responsive feel off the line. It produces around 50 horsepower and 73 Nm of torque at around 4,750 RPM. That might not sound like superbike numbers, but this isn't about top-end rush, it's about punchy, usable torque right from the bottom, and that gives the Leon 883 its signature feel of rolling on throttle and feeling the bike surge forward like a force of nature. It's mated to a 5-speed transmission, classic in setup but refined in feel. Gear shifts are smoother than ever before, with a tighter engagement and cleaner actuation at the foot lever. The final drive is still belt-a quiet, low maintenance, and undeniably Harley. Firing it up, you're greeted by the unmistakable thump of the V-twin. It idles with confidence and character, and the updated exhaust note has a slightly deeper growl than previous versions. It's got that rebel voice without being obnoxiously loud, just enough to command respect in a parking lot or when you pull up next to a sport bike at a red light. On the road, the Leon 883 feels planted and predictable. Despite being a cruiser, it leans with ease thanks to the revised frame geometry and lower center of gravity. At low speeds, it's manageable and easy to maneuver, ideal for newer riders or those transitioning from smaller bikes. On the highway, it'll cruise comfortably at 100 to 120 km/h all day long, with plenty of grunt left for overtaking. It's not built for canyon carving, but it holds its line in corners surprisingly well. The mid-corner stability is solid, and the suspension soaks up imperfections with maturity. Braking is handled by a single front and rear disc setup with dual-piston calipers. It's not aggressive, but it's progressive and strong enough for the weight and power of the bike. ABS comes standard, offering peace of mind on slick roads and sudden stops. Instrumentation is a single circular digital analog hybrid pod mounted just ahead of the triple clamp. It gives you your speed, revs, gear position, fuel level, trip meters, and even a range estimate. Everything is backlit and easy to read under different lighting conditions. Harley's smart key system is in play here, allowing keyless ignition, and there's a USB-C port tucked under the seat for charging your device on the go. As for ride modes and electronics, the Leon 883 keeps it old school and no ride-by-wire. No traction control, just raw mechanical connection between rider and machine. And honestly, that's how it should be on a bike like this. Now let's talk numbers. The 2025 Harley-Davidson Leon 883 is priced aggressively to pull in both first-time cruiser buyers and seasoned Harley enthusiasts looking for a stripped-down second ride. In the US, pricing starts around $10,999, which undercuts many rivals in its displacement and style category. In European markets, it's expected to land at roughly a negation 11,500, depending on taxes and options. In India and Southeast Asia, localized versions with slight feature tweaks and CKD assembly could bring the price down to a highly competitive A superscript 111.5 to A superscript 112.5 lock, which makes it an attractive option for riders looking to step up from smaller displacement cruisers. The bike comes in 3 color options: the Raven Black, Midnight Crimson, and a retro-inspired Vintage Silver. Each paint scheme is deeply layered and comes with subtle pinstriping and gloss or matte finish options, giving buyers room to personalize their ride without going into aftermarket paint immediately. In terms of accessories, Harley has launched a whole range of factory add-ons for the Leon 883A, from performance exhaust systems, taller handlebars, and different seat options to touring windscreens and saddlebag kits. This is a bike that invites customization, and Harley's given riders all the tools to make it their own. Whether you want to turn it into a weekend cruiser, a stripped-down bar hopper, or even a light-duty tourer, the Leon 883 is up for the challenge. So what's the verdict? The 2025 Harley-Davidson Leon 883 isn't trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not packed with electronic wizardry or radical design shifts. What it does instead is reaffirm what Harley has always stood for: character, soul, and raw connection between rider and machine. But it does that while cleaning up the rough edges, refining the ride quality, making it more accessible, and giving it a fresh identity for the modern era. It respects the brand's heritage without being stuck in it. For seasoned Harley lovers, it's a return to form. For new riders, it's a proper gateway into the world of American cruisers. If you're after a cruiser that feels real, sounds authentic, and makes no apologies for its identity, the Leon 883 is worth every second of your attention. It's simple, it's strong, and it's just badass enough to make you feel like you're in your own biker movie every time you ride it. And that, folks, is what riding should be about. Thanks for sticking around with us at Two Wheel Trends. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2025 Harley-Davidson Leon 883, hit that like button, subscribe for more raw and real motorcycle content, and let us know in the comments, would you ride the Leon, or do you think Harley should have gone in a different direction? Until next time, ride safe, ride hard, and keep chasing that horizon.